Hey everybody, I'm Kevin. I'm not childish. I'm at a higher level of immaturity. And this Why Me is really the start of my experiences in my life. I'll call it my autobiography by experiences. And on my last one, I said that I had an experience starting from the moment I was born. And I did. First thing, and I only found this out about 2 years ago, is that I was born depressed. And you'd say, well, how can you be depressed? You didn't have anything. You don't even know you're in existence. My body doesn't make enough serotonin. And so I definitely started out wondering about things different, seeing things differently than most, and not enjoying and having the excitement that others have. But now let's add to that. The very first week I came home from the hospital, it was hotter than hell. Back then, no air conditioning in the house. My mother said, and she didn't tell me this until, I don't know, 15 years ago, that I cried for a week. And if my mother says I cried for a week, it wasn't here, a little bit there. No, I'm sure it was for almost continuous. Now let's add to that. Both my parents believed that if a child has been fed and its diaper is dry and they're crying, you just leave them cry. You don't hold them. You don't love them. You don't cuddle them. You don't rock them. All alone. Talk about screwing with somebody's head. Well, that's how it went for me. Now let's add to that. My parents never said they loved me. My parents never told me I did a good job. They never congratulated me on the awards I won. They never patted me on the back. They never hugged me. They never kissed me. My father wouldn't even shake hands with other people. So certainly he's not going to shake hands with me. I never thought about it. Only when I got out in the world did I realize it. And in fact, I'll call him my ex-father-in-law. He was a good man. He's passed away now. But the first time he met me, he told me that I didn't know how to shake hands, and so he taught me how. And his wife, God love her, she insisted that I give her a kiss and a hug every time I met her and every time I left her. It took a while, but I even learned how to say I love you. And that's very important, if for nobody else, for your children. Those are the kind of things that I don't know how anybody can come up with the idea that they're not supposed to love their child. And I know that my parents love me. I mean, make me feel loved. Make me want to be around them. I never wanted to be around them. I'd be out in the shed cutting something up and building something, or down in the basement or up in my room, but I was around my parents as little as possible. They never saw me when I competed in cross country. They never saw me compete in track. They never even made sure that I had proper equipment because it didn't interest them. Now, I'm not saying that my parents are worthless. They thought they were doing the right thing. It's taken me a long time to realize that. That idea of loving unconditionally. The idea that, well, to tell you the truth, I couldn't love them until I figured out that I was doing things wrong myself. Once I realized that my methods, like with my children, wasn't perfect, and that the way I dealt with people and even my ex didn't help matters much at all. In fact, I sort of followed my father's lead for the first about 3-4 years of my marriage, and then I realized I was being an asshole. And so I changed, maybe not enough, but I tried. And so, all these things are part of the reason I am who I am. And some of the things I won't say I wish were different, because this was the life I was meant to have. This is God's will. I say that not quite understanding what I just said, and I'm sure some people have a different opinion about how that all works. It's not what he wanted. It was what was going to happen, I guess. So, well, we'll get past that one. I'd imagine the next ones will be some of the things that have happened to me as a real small child, and go from there. See ya.